This Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Demai. In the article Oz B'Hadar edition, we actually finished yesterday all of Samach Hamad Aleph. There wasn't much of it, and we're now up to Samach Hamad Beis at the top. Come Rabbi Yoina, and in the Vilna edition, that is on Chav Ches Hamad Aleph. About halfway down the page. First word on the line is come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines down on the page. Okay, so yesterday we had learned that Rabbi Chizka said named Rabbi Yoda, named Rabbi Yirmiyah, that normally we would say noshuch is chibur. In other words, where two pieces next to each other, when you separate them, one takes a bite out of the other. And moch, if they were just crushed together, it's not a chibur. But in terms of tumantara, but here in the maton shel zeisim, we said, even though it's only crushed together, chachamim were machmer them we regard them all as tamei, because there is a mashke which bonds them together. But in terms of hechsher, that's even Rabbi Yochanan's moide. We said that it's mukshar lekabel tuma. That's all mukshar lekabel tuma in the maton midin Torah. So the come Rabbi Yonah in Rabbi Yirmiyah. So Rabbi Yonah entered the discussion. He rose up with Rabbi Yirmiyah. Like, Atam Arta Milsa. That's Rabbi Yonah coordinated Rabbi Yirmiyah, but then he asked on him, did you say this? That in terms of chiburin, that it's in terms of chiburin, that's the way it works. So Amalei Rabbi said, Amalei, no, it's not what I said. In mini. If you ask me my opinion, if mini from me, I feel hechsherin hein chumrin. I would say even to say in the matter to say that they're mushal gabel tuma, because that they're moch together, crushed together. That's a chumrah. It's not, it's the rabbanon, not me the raisa. So Vatani Shavin. So now Rabbi Yonah asked Rabbi Yirmiyah, didn't we learn Shavish Emochin Kodesh Chitin Vavashanav? You can't sell a pile of grain which came wet, wheat which came wet, Vavashanavim, and the bucket of grapes, Matan Shalzaisim, in the container of olives, El Chaver, only to a Chaver, Mishi Yodesh also some Betara, somebody who does to a Chaver who knows to do them Betara, who's going to keep them Torah because it sounds like them because they're Mukshal Kabel Tuma, right? And if you it's not because of Hekshet Rabbanan, it must be because of Hekshet Doraisa. They're making Xera, otherwise it'd be kind of Xera. Lo Torahi, I'm sorry. Vavisha Anovim Lo Torahi. The Avid show Anovim, the bucket of grapes is not the Raisa, because otherwise, why should you not be allowed to sell them? So the container of olives also sounds like the extra the Raisa. Okay, good question. Maikadun. So what do we do with this question? What is the ultimate outcome here? Tipata Krabi Meir. So it could be that this is going to be Meir, this Brisa, which holds that you're not allowed to sell this stuff to somebody who's not going to be Shem Tara. It's like Meir Omar Moel Kamashke. Meir says that the sweat which comes out of the olives in the maton is considered to be like a mashke, even though the real mashke of olives is shemen's eyes, not the moel, not whatever sweat moisture comes out of the olives. Nevertheless, it's a mashke legabi being mashur kabel tuma. So that is Rabbi Meir Shita. So that which Rabbi Yochanan says only the Rabbanon could be going according to the Rabbanon, who hold that the moel is not the mashke, and therefore whatever connection there is only the Rabbanon. But according to Meir, according to Rabbi Meir, who says moel kamashke, so the connection is the Raisa. Amar Bizira, time to be Shammai, ain't there a cover Lios Mocha Zaysim El Lamaser. The what the why do you say explicitly that you don't have to set in the Mishnah? Mishnah said Lenka El Chaver. They didn't mention Meiser. Beishamai, he only mentioned have sold to Meiser. Why didn't Beishamai mention it? So it's because the derech of a chaver is by definition he only sells to a meiser. So telling him now it's not enough. It's just a meiser, which we don't have to tell you that. That's for sure. But it should be even somebody who's making to matara. Okay, ma'ut snuim. We talked about snuim before. That who the snuim said in the Mishnah said. Yeah. So what is snuim mean? The people who did the right thing. Rav Chisda said, and here the Rashi and Rav Chaim changed it from kach to kan shaninu shakosher nikot snuim. So here we learned that the ksherim or daktik mitzvos are called snuim, and we mentioned because it's lechas milokech is probably the reason. Now, in some editions, here we have halacha vav, and in Vilna it has here halacha. Hey, but it's a mistake. Should say halacha vav because the two halacha is in the Vilna. So it's hey. Okay, and the Reb Chaim has this as halacha vav, and the Art Scroll he doesn't have anything here because he put the two mishnayos together previously. So therefore, it just has a header over here, and not the mission itself. But let's read the mission itself. I'm not sure we read it, but from the article when we did it a couple of 2 days ago, whatever it was. So let's read the second part of the Mishnah here. Shnayim shabatzu karmei v'tol gas ha'echad. Two people who harvested their vineyards into one wine press. Echad shabatzu karmei v'tol gas into a wine press. Echad ma'aser, one of them takes of ma'aser. Echad she'en ma'aser, and one doesn't take a ma'aser. A ma'aser shalo. So the person who normally meisers his that which is his for sure, and v'chelko b'chol makom shehem, and he takes off a meiser from the other parts which may belong to his partner to as demai, and keeps his meisers to himself. That's how the Gemara is going to explain it. In the Mishnah itself, it's kind of ambiguous what exactly it means. Meiser shlo v'chelko b'chol makom shehem. So we'll have to wait till we see in the Gemara what exactly it means. So again, the Gemara proceeds here. Rabbi Lesed, Rabbi Meir. So this is talking about according to Rabbi Meir. The Meir Omar Lo Yitil Limkot Mai Elasitom Bilvad. Only a wholesaler is allowed to sell things which are demai. So it's a little bit complicated here. Chaim says. Rabbi is explaining this Mishnah that what is it says is shalom. I say shalom. That's called the part that he takes to himself, and that is the ma'aser for sure. And what's the chelko b'chol makom shehu? That's what his friend takes. So Lezer says so shalom is yours, chelko is your friends. Lezer holds ein brera. Yeah, the problem is you don't know for sure what's yours and what wasn't yours because you can't. It doesn't work that once we choose what's my 50 and once you choose your 50%, that was the way the chalukah is supposed to be. It becomes retroactively clear that was the way it's supposed to have been, and what's yours is haki yours, what his is taka is no, ain't brera. Nothing becomes clarified retroactively. Therefore, they are they're considered to be the shukvim here are dividing up. They are considered to be buying from each other. It's not their actual true chelik, so to speak, but the reckoning they made, which is like a commercial action. So each one is selling to his friend his chelik. Therefore, you have to be meiser also your friend's chelik, because maybe that's actually is your chelik. You don't know which is actually your chelik, so you have to be meiser your friend's chelik as my. So, because since you're considered as a seller on your friend's stuff, so that's why it's called chelko. You know, chelik. Saying chelko does not mean his really. It means my chelik too. Why? Because I might have chelik and that might be my chelik since we don't say brera. So I'm buying and selling stuff here. Um, maybe again, maybe it's in friend's hand, hence. So that's it. Say right, Mayor. Our mission is right, Mayor, who holds that a moicher has to take off the mai, right? In other words, it's as if I'm selling him his chelik, because it's really mainly my chelik, because there's no brera. I'm selling him, and I have to take off the mai because the halacha is that you only allowed a siton to sell without taking off the mai. So again, it might be a suffix because we don't know what's your part, what's not your part. But so therefore, it's considered to be a suffix, and therefore you have to say that it's considered to be demai. Okay, so it's so who patar lei? So he explains the Mishnah. Maisa sholo badai. His portion has to take off as badai. The chelko and the chelik of his friend. The chol makom shehu demai. So actually, I made I think I made a mistake before. No, right. The chelik of his friend. Okay, so his chelik of his friend is mine because again, it's as if he's telling him his chelik. It's not as if it's something which is a gloimus mafred that was his and that is mine. It's not like the case, for example, of choiker, right? A makabo choiker, where you can say that each person, by the makabo specifically, said so each person's chelik, they take meisus off themselves. No. Here it's here you have to take off your portion and his portion because it might be like as you're selling him his portion, it wasn't really your portion you're selling to them, and therefore you have an achrayus on it, the same achrayus of the demai that any seller has, but you can keep it to yourself. You don't have to give those meisus to Kohen or Levi because the Matzah Levarayah. They have to prove that actually was your chelik, which is chayav and meisrus, and then you have to give it up. And of course, they can't prove that because it's a suffix which part was actually yours, which was not actually yours, which can never be clarified. So therefore, you take off half badai and give that to the Kohen Levi, take off half demai, and you keep that for yourself. And that brings us to the bottom of, that brings the top of Samachal Famaralf. So therefore, we were able to stop here for today.